Alright, hello, we are back with another video here. Today I've got Nathan with me.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Playing some Pluffy versus Lucci, just kind of testing, and yeah, we talk about what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, and just hopefully get some good testing in.
Yeah, so still gonna start going second with Lucci. Do not like that hand, that's a bit better.
The sound's kind of just perfect, so I'm going to keep this.
That. Cool. Brought on Tempest kick on one. I think I really need to hit like the 10 cards and drop quickly here.
Pretty simple kind of early game for Pluffy. They kind of do the same thing. Players are a duo. I kind of want to take this here. Oh, I only run 2 of these 9 drops, so to see them both go to the bottom of the deck, I might want to keep one. But Gungam Giant's just so strong. But I'm going to take the 9 drop just because I want something to play after my Luffy Tarot turn.
Yeah, that looks pretty good for you. Keep it simple.
I think this is an easy counter out of, just because we don't want to go low in life, especially at such a low cost way.
Yeah, gonna do one of what feels like one of my favorite plays of the minute. Just play the Lucci on hard to like keep her body contesting the board a little bit. Like we just kind of need to go a little longer. Gonna counter out of this one.
We're definitely going to swing here. I want to get as much value out of our bodies as we can.
Take that.
They take that. So just another quite simple turn for me, really. Play out the best combo in the deck. Some could say it's better than Jinbei Weevil, but yeah, it's just a crazy combo. Especially when you can do it like a whole turn ahead of your opponent's done.
Attack them.
So when you're presented with this kind of threat, what is your best turn?
So, there is a moment where if you can hit like, so it depends on what you've opened. Like in a world where you've opened a double Spandam and you've gone kind of like really crazy, you can see like Ice Age, Tempest Kick, Rob Lucci. I'm obviously like not on that faster track, which is why I played the Lucci hard, and I want to contest the Zoroduro once it's turned sideways.
Are you still on 4 Spandam? Because I know some of the Italian lists were cutting Spandam.
Yeah, no, I'm still on 4, so I'm currently playing. You tipped me up on a list that runs the like new Smoker deck. Yeah, Smoker Trial deck Kashigi.
Yeah.
And that kind of tipped me off on that versus Blackbeard. So we're trying that.
This 8 into 6, I think for 4 Dawn, there's not really much you can do to remove apart from Ice Age Brook, which is what I'm most likely going to expect. So I could counter out with this, keep this body on board, and then hound him for damage next turn. Because if I counter out this, I do go down to 3 in hand, but I draw and then lead ability and get the draw off my 9-cost Luffy. So I still gonna stay positive. And if he doesn't even remove the Sangoro, then I get that draw as well. So I think defending this is correct. Or at least maybe is correct. Just keeping that pressure early. And he didn't have the Ice Age Rook, so he's just got to do quite a defensive play here, which is fine by us.
Yeah, this is kind of slow, I think.
Start with the Sangoro, play around any finger pistol. I think the draw is more important than attacking with the 5 first. He's got the hand anyway, so he's going to be able to counter out. And we're definitely not going to swing at Rob Lucci here, just because it's easy for him to counter out of, and he doesn't have one in trash, so it means any more of your plays are just that little bit worse, even though we know he has the Brook, but takes the park, and then we just play out this.
Yeah.
So just completely perfect curve here. You could say maybe 9 Mom's best in the situation, gaining a life and putting that Lucci into his, but I don't know, I think this huge amount of aggression is just unstoppable by any deck, to be honest. I don't know what deck can beat this curve. I mean,
Yeah, I think I either needed to save the Lucci or or just kind of hit something on that last turn, I think. Choosing to keep the Zoro, I think, was correct in this, like, position.
I mean, what are your options now? Because there's not much.
Yeah, so another problem I find with Purple Luffy and like Lucci is like Moria on 8 doesn't really feel great.
Yeah.
Like that came up in the top 16. Like you're not really doing anything without like your instant cost reduction because they've jumped so far ahead.
Yeah, it's like you could at most remove one body with Helmeppo Lucci.
Yeah.
Because then, yeah, you're still presented with 4 bodies. One of them's 10, one of them's 8. So, once again, it's quite an easy counter for me. My hand is full of counter, so we're not scared of him swinging big into any characters because we can just counter up that anyway. Chops the Tempest Kick. So yeah, we can expect this Sangoro to die. But it also means no Gecko, which we're happy with. And yeah, just have to do a replica Brook line here. And then what, 3 down to swing 9, I'm guessing?
Yeah, there is no better play in this moment.
Yeah, so we can just... I don't know what's more Don efficient when going for game, if it's the Usohachi or the Sanji. It could be the Sanji, just because then we can ramp, gain that extra Don from the effect of the Sanji, but this is obviously really freed up. I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. I think we have the game no matter what.
Yeah. I think maybe when I played the first Rebecca, I could have played out the Brook, but maybe it would have saved a couple of swings.
Maybe, yeah, because I think I probably do just ignore it.
Yeah, like you're so up on board.
Should have swung that 4 first, just to play around any finger pistols, but I don't know even if he does. How should it set up? Yeah, that should be game.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sitting.
So, where'd you get those ice stages from?
They kind of came... So I had Tempest Kick Ice Age at the start, but Tempest Kick was never going to be online quick enough, like with what I had. And then the second one was drawn kind of as I kept going, as was the third.
It's fair enough. So do you think maybe you should have kept the Lucci in hand to combo with the Ice Age, or...?
Yeah, like that's where I think like I could have gone differently.
Yeah. So I think in a battle for board, you're always probably going to lose if it's like just swinging into characters.
Yeah.
This hand... So you chose to go first. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'm just like swapping the turn order. Like realistically, I think good practice, you have to be ready to go like off your curve as well.
That's fair enough.
There is also a mindset of like, yeah, if I can play a 3-cost Brook, it at least helps.
Yeah, definitely. This timer from Nice Spandam does mill a Ice Age, which I'm happy to see. Quite a nice hand here, as long as we find the final piece. Just once again.
To some extent, going first is also pretty good, because like I can hit Moria on 9.
Yeah.
And that at least kind of like allows me to pair it with an Ice Age or a Tempest Kick.
So with this attack, I'm either going to counter with this 1k Sanji or a 2k, but if I counter with the Sanji, there's a chance I don't have a 7 Don play. So I feel like I should counter with a 2k just in case I don't find anything after Zoro Jiro next turn. So we'll just go with 2k.
No, I think that's correct. Like, you've got a really defensive deck, and you also draw a lot of cards through life in your own time. So, like, making sure you have plays lined up to pressure Lucci, I think is a lot more important than, say, like, keeping a 2k.
Yeah, still no sign of that Zoro Jiro, no, not Zoro Jiro, Luffy Taro. So, there is an argument. We could take... Can we... Oh, no, we can't take Law, can we? No, we can't. I was going to say take Law and search for it, but... we already have a 9 month, so maybe we don't take this Luffy. But we also have 2K, so I think maybe we just do take it. Which could be wrong, but our hand's got enough counter. And it's not like his board's extremely threatening. Another Ice Age milled, so good for us, as well as a Mori. Yeah, quite a nice line here, being able to carry that Zoro, so maybe the Brook is the key to the matchup. Because it also feels bad having to counter out again. Which will I do? Because playing up the Sanji if it was also quite bad, because that's not really, it's just kind of a 7k rush, so it's not that bad, but do I counter this? I'll be at 7 next turn. I still kind of want to ramp just to get ahead.
Yes, does getting to 8 help you in any regard? Like, you can swing 6 into the Brook.
Well, I guess ramping allows me to see that extra card.
Yeah, that's true. That might be like a Luffy Taro you need.
And if I do Don -1 with the Sanji, I'll still be at 9 next turn for either my Luffy or Limit. So I do feel I want to counter this, but I want to keep both of these cards in my hand just in case I have to play them. So I'm just going to counter
very backward.
A 2k.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will not get it, but that's fine. We'll just go 6 of Rook. I think we have to remove this. It's just too much value on board. And if he gives me 2 cards, I'm kind of fine by that. I think the rush here is valid for 1 Don. I did kind of forget he isn't just a rush, but I think if you just play it like the Sangor row, he just gets removed and we don't get any value from it. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like he could jack, so he can't really jack here. He just missed with a Spandam. Another Mori and Trash, which we like to see. Just what's going through your head right now? Oh, okay. That's fair enough.
Yeah, so what's going through my head is my hand doesn't have any plays like that. Anything that will get me more cards in my hand at this point don't get me anything really. Like, I have more Califers. What they essentially do is just like, they put me on such a low Don curve, and like, yeah, I've filtered, but what I have left cannot remove the Sanji. And if I let you keep the Sanji, I know you've got like something coming. I know you obviously said 9 Mom, I don't know that, but like, I'm assuming you as the Luffy have at least another play, and that kind of pressures me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can like Ice Age, Helmeppo, Gecko, if you can do that and remove this, you're in quite a decent spot, I'd say.
No, yeah, like, I definitely am, and like, I think things have worked out quite well. So you are right, like, there is the Gecko play, and like, but I think the play I'm about to do, I would rather do for like, because it sets me up. Ice Age Jacks, yeah. Because even if you play like a rush body or like put enough of your Don to swing into the Jack, you're not playing a big thing. And like, the Jack sets me up to need less reduction over the course of several turns. It also just gives me that one more turn to make sure I have everything in trash for like Lucci, because I still haven't seen like Rebecca.
Yep.
Which like is not the end of the world. Like, the Moria combo is still really strong without it. As the Kaido, every time I look at him, it's like, oh, you could maybe be goodish to play. He's just here for Blackbeard.
Yeah. Quite a nice top deck there. We were going to be kind of struggling for plays, or at least anything efficient. Like, 9-1 there is not the best. I was thinking of just going Sanji, try put him down to 0, at least really strain his hands for 2Ks. But now that we've drawn this, I'm torn between swinging 5 and leaving 1 on open to try and draw that Gum Gavel. So maybe I'll play this out first. No. So we don't get it, but yeah, this allows us to just go 6. We do finally draw that Luffy Tyro, just a bit too late. And there is an argument here. We could swing into Jack, So maybe it was go 5 at lead, test it for counter, and then go 11 at jack, but I mean, we know he's just filtered, so at least 1 card. The Khalifa also filtered him 2 cards, so I feel like he will have the counter. He's used 3 Ice Ages already, or at least seen 3 Ice Ages, and at least 1 Tempest kick, 2 Tempest kicks, so I feel like he just counters out of the jack and I lose a swing. I kind of need to put him on a clock before he keeps dropping these Warriors. So now it's just, does he have the reduction is the question.
There it is.
And he does get the Rebecca, which is very nice. Just counter out here with a Sandbar. I think the card's basically dead now. Another 5. I have to get this jack swing, so I just will counter this with probably just kid. I want to keep this Sanji in hand.
YouTube. Quite luckily, I did roll the Spandine, so I can afford to add back a 2k just to insulate myself further. And then we had all these Tempest kicks back in the deck, and I'm gonna put one of the Luccis back with it, just so if worst comes to worst, I can Tempest kick into like something I know will KO.
Yep.
And then put Moria, a Sage, and Moria back. Get rid of that, and then I'm not sure of what triggers are in your deck, so realistically I probably should have swung the jack first, but if I messed up the line, I wanted to make sure I could like rest jack if I had to.
Yeah. I mean, Missile Sunday is the only one I can kind of think of, and I'm only on 1, and I might even take that out. So there is an option to just counter here and then play out the 9 on next turn. Otherwise, my kind of only option is Sanji for game, but I don't think that gets through, especially just seeing him through a 2k. So I am going to double counter and just try and edge the game on just a little bit longer. And that is a very nice draw, actually. So what's better here? Oh, I don't know if it's put Rebecca in life or Lucci in life. I think it's probably Lucci because it's just that body. Yeah, definitely. So we'll just go 5 at lead. Probably counters this, I'd assume. Does block, which I'm totally fine by. Trash the Tyro, gain a life, and just put that Lucci to the bottom. Maybe I don't actually want to slow down the game, but I don't know, if I can survive this turn with the Lin, maybe I'm in a better situation, but we've seen him use a good amount of reduction. But yeah, he's got a big hand, a big board. We just weren't quick enough. That Rook on turn 1, being able to move high.
That felt really good.
Yeah, just really slowed me down. So maybe I should just play that at 5 cost. So I played at the Zoro looking for the Luffy Taro, but that did allow you to do the Khalifa line.
Yeah.
I would just counter this one.
I don't think, like, there isn't a world where you don't play the Zoro Joro. Like, I don't think anything else on 4 does you better.
Oh, well, I was on 5.
Oh yeah, you were.
So I could have played that with the Sangoro, but I want to try and get that Luffy Taro search in.
Yeah, no, like, I think playing Sangoro, no, because I guess you're almost at 8 next turn. I'm not a purple Luffy player, I can't really.
I think just trying to maximize that search is the best. I'm going to take this one because I don't want to trash this Sanji.
It's the one.
There could have been a world where we don't put the Lucci on life and just keep you at 1 life, but then you could probably just threaten game and end up mathing me out just with such a low hand size and big board. I think this Khalifa's put in work, just being able to swing 5 every turn, costing me that extra card. And he is forced to do a goofy line. It still works. Being able to move it with my jack is one less swing. Yeah, and I think this game's kind of over.
Yeah, like, even with a rush body, you only really pressure 1, and now I've just set up, like, a bunch of 7k swings.
Yeah, the best I can do is take this and hope for Missile Sunny Trigger, which it isn't. So I guess we kind of just try and clear board and then have this line on. But he will just defend it. Trash the... Kind of has to be the Sanji now. Does it? I don't know. Does it have to be the Sanji? I really want to keep the Sandy, to be honest. Kind of life. I'm sure it's bad putting a 2k to the bottom, but we kind of have to do it. To have any chance of surviving.
So we're only on Kaku as a one of, like, if I had space there'd probably be more, but like I think that's always the correct answer, because like there's a world where I swing Kaku and then like use Moria to cycle Kaku and play it again and remove it.
Yeah. So it's just a small bigger body, like it's 1k difference. So go with 5. He's kind of just feeling out my hand. Because he knows I'm representing this Gum Gum, he doesn't want to give me too much value with these swings.
Yeah, like I am just kind of putting myself in better situations here.
You're also in no rush to go for game, like you can...
Yeah, like now that like 9 months crazy, but the fact I've now got 2-3 life and you can really only play 1 rush a turn, I kind of have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna find this line instead.
Yeah, another game is just completely over. It was over quite a while ago. I think when I just didn't see Luffy Terror on like 8 on turn, it was kind of hard, especially after you removed my my Zoro. But
yeah, like I think like the fact you didn't keep all of your bodies there, and that let me just like stabilize a little bit. Yeah, there it is.
yeah,
It is the thing, like, if I can just about stabilize and get to, like, an okay-ish point, I do think, like, by the end I am favored. Like, even though, like, I milled most of the Ice Ages.
yeah.
I pretty much, like, I have, like, so many flexible lines in the deck. Like, I think, like, Califer and Kaku both had really good showings in this.
Yeah, I mean, I did mess with that. I was meant to take... I thought it was on 10 Don, so I should have taken the Name there, but I think either way, I just kind of lose to 9, 9, 8, 6, and a 5k body, so...
Yeah, it's like 9, 9, 9, whatever's left.
So what are your current thoughts on Lucci in this meta?
So, I think... So, every so often I think about, like, an article I read that was, I think, was when we were going into Nats, and it said, like, if you want to play a 50-50 matchup for everything, play a Nell. A Nell has a 50-50 matchup into everything. You have to outskill them. And I didn't believe that. I didn't think that's what an Nell did in that meta. But, like, the idea of the deck that has 50-50 matchups and, like, it requires you to play well persists in my head. And I don't think Lucci does that exactly, but I think if you look at, like, the top few decks, being Dofi, in my opinion, Purple Luffy, then Lucci, and then, like, maybe you could argue some other stuff. I think, like, in that triangle, that is kind of Lucci's job. Lucci exists in a thing where, like, you can beat any of them, and, like, past a certain point you are favored, but you need to walk on the tightrope to get to that point. Lucci's other main strength is a lot of the decks that really strongly push against Blackbeard, that if you're trying to, like, push Blackbeard with aggro decks, things like Bello Betty, the Red Sanji, Lucci, in my opinion, just dumpsters them. You just kind of put 4-cost Lucci in the hand, obviously it's more complicated than that, but then you just, they can't keep up with you. And there's a really interesting thing of like, if you go to a big event, if you're expecting people to play Blackbeard and you bring one of those aggro decks, the then counter picking of bringing Lucci under the understanding of there will be a significant amount of people trying to beat Blackbeard, because they don't have on play, because they don't have proactive things, and they're going down in hand a lot. Lucci really thrives there. So I think like counter Blackbearding or counter Blackbearding and having a strong to like medium matchup with all the strong decks that allows you to essentially flex skill expression and understanding of like lines in Lucci, make it a good strong contender. It does have a pretty bad matchup for Blackbeard. We are teching for that, like Kaido. I think like the Tashigi innovation is really interesting to deal with kind of Burgess.
Yeah.
But no, I think Lucci's still in a really good spot. It's not as strong as it was last format. I would say I would much rather see Blackbeard than BY Lucci.
Really?
In my personal opinion, yes.
That's fair enough. I mean, I guess people are still figuring out how to play Blackbeard to its full ability. It's quite hard.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of different Blackbeard variants. I need to get around to writing it, but I want to write something about like picking decks for events of different sizes and like the interactions because of how Blackbeard exists with those aggro decks and with Lucci. So I'll hopefully have that written soonish. And obviously, like, yeah, Blackbeard's still being experimented with. I think like the versions that run Jack and Tempest Kick are really interesting. Obviously, some people in our testing circle were talking about like the Mancherry engine yesterday. I thought that's really neat.
Yeah, I think just being able to pay $2 to grab back that card that you lost is just very strong. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next video.
Bye.